everyone. Last night, my brother and I and my friend Dan recorded the first podcast episode for my podcast. And I will say, I'm sick right now, so the quality isn't the best. We did over Discord, and there was a lot of issues with the sound, and we tried our best. So this is not going to be the best quality you're going to get, but it's just a test run to see if how it turns out and how good it was to make and how much fun we had. And I think we had fun. Like I said, my friend Dan was there to provide some good insight. My brother was there as a younger perspective, and there's me with my own opinions. So yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, and have a listen. It's a little shorter. It's around 30 minutes, and tell me what you think. But thanks guys, and don't be sick. Hi, I'm Preacher's Enthusiast, and today we're going to do the first podcast episode of the Untitled podcast, which will have a name soon. With me is my friend Dan Glennon, known as Ziggy Starscream.
Hello.
And my brother Andrew, known as Saltine Lies.
What's up?
What's your name still, right, Andrew?
Yeah.
On Instagram?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Today
You start scream for me, sir, on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, check him out. He writes stuff for me on my website. He does the St. Kendrick series on the Preacher's Enthusiast website.
Pretty good guest to have on for this one.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about Kendrick Lamar's new album and the coronavirus and how it has impacted and is going to impact the entertainment industry. So, you guys introduce yourself about yourself. We'll talk about anything you guys want to, put out there about yourself and who you are.
Dan, you can go first.
I write, I think a lot, a little too much. ADHD and a long day at work can get you thinking about some wild shit. So, I work in the kitchen, I talk a lot, I play Magic, League, Smash, go Richter. Castlevania is dope, go watch it.
Pretty lit.
Alright, Andrew, about yourself?
Not much about me. I just listen to a bunch of music except country.
Y'all will learn about me.
And so, let's on this Kendrick Lamar album. What are you guys' thoughts on it?
So, does it have an official release date or anything like that?
I don't think so. I don't think it has any information released except that it might be rock/metal influenced, is what I've heard.
That sounds awesome.
That's all I've heard about it, but
He's a very ambitious artist, so anything he's going to take his time with it, and it's going to be perfected to the nth degree. So if he says he's going to draw in another different genre, he's done that successfully before on To Pimp a Butterfly, which is essentially a black culture opus to the music while telling a beautiful story all at the same time. So if he's going to do something with rock and metal, I'm all for it. I would love to see what he comes up with.
yeah, he did delete all his pictures off his Instagram, and he just launched a new endeavor the other day. I don't remember the name of it. I'll look it up actually, but it's supposed to be a movement, I believe he said. Nothing album related yet, but it's supposed to. Let me look it up.
I got you.
It is called PG Lane.
Okay. Go on.
Not much has been said about it, but he bought the domain and then he changed his Instagram to it. So that's all we have right now on this. It is a joint collaboration. I don't remember who he's doing it with.
I believe he's doing it with Dave Free.
Yeah, that's true.
Who?
Dave Free.
Oh, gotcha.
He just put out merch the other day and it's all sold out. The shirts are sold out, the long sleeves and the hoodies are all sold out.
Sounds about right.
He put out a video, like a little video trailer about it, and I believe it features a new song. But this is It's his new, I guess, in business endeavor. I'm guessing it's a business. Just they're selling merch. They have a trail like a. I don't know if it's not a label. I wouldn't say it's a label though. There's just not enough information to even know what it is. Really.
It could be an album that he LLC'd, so he can literally get people to pay. He can merchandise the album as the album itself. I think that's how that would work.
Yeah, that could be an option. I do think it is definitely something to look forward to in this year. Because whatever it could be, it's still Kendrick Lamar, and he has a pretty good record, I would say, on releasing.
He'll surprise us with it somehow.
Yeah, definitely.
He always does. I have my theories what the overarching theme of the next album would be. If going through Damn, we've gotten to essentially the 40 Days in the Desert for Jesus, where he was left with the path of wickedness or the path of weakness. I believe that if we're going through the biblical storyline, this next album would be crucifixion, which is essentially where be Kendrick vilifying himself and acting as a martyr. I actually find that very interesting because his public image has been rather low-key in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that because, like, looking back at Damn, it has a big God theme to it, especially with, the album titles and the storyline throughout the entire album. I could see him doing something, related to crucifixion or relating to, how, Damn was him at his, like, prime as God, and now it's the downfall type thing.
Well, if you actually look back at the St. Kendrick pieces that I've done for Anthony, I dive really far into that. I really think that he's consciously planning this story arc for a fictional version of Kendrick, while also being a reflection of him in the public spotlight of the actual human. So I would be curious to see how he subtextually puts all that together to tie it into final Christ. Because I firmly believe, as each album has been very religiously influenced, that his next album would be just like the others. There's a lot of God to go around.
Honestly, though. So, yeah. On that note, what are you guys looking forward to the most? Like, what type of inspiration? Because talking about, how it's going to be, you said pop, like rock kind of.
Yeah,
theme.
it's supposed to. It's from what I heard. It's linked to rock and metal.
Because when I think of the number one song I think of when it comes to rock and hip hop is "Extra" by Duckworth, because the entire song is it's pretty much a rock song with a couple 808s and a couple hi-hats just put in, and it turns into a rap song. But it has heavy like Green Day type vibes to it. So when I think of a Kendrick Lamar doing that, I feel like since him and Duckworth to me have these this lyrical complex where they what they talk about in their songs is like influential and discussing certain topics. It's always comes to the fact that I think if he were to do an album like that, would it sound exactly like Duckworth, or would it be because I know it'd be his own, but would it draw inspiration from stuff like that?
Well, I know on Damn it's pretty abrasive, I would say, production wise for most of the part. Metal is always known to be, harder hitting sound wise. But some of the beats on Damn, like Humble and DNA, those are like Jesus, like, abrasiveness.
Yeah.
I would say. And it's not. He hasn't really done that before. I mean, Pimp Butterfly was mostly funk and stuff like that. And it wasn't like like in your face loud. It was more.
Kendrick likes to have his message and what he stands for reflected in his music, and it's very easy in an era like this to be very angry.
Oh, definitely.
What type of music reflects anger the best? Metal. I would guess that there's going to be one song that's going to sound very much like "Smells Like Teen Spirit," based on his age. That'll be one of the songs that he could not escape when he was in his formative years. Plus, he's one to respect his history, so he's probably going to have one of the most influential rock songs of all time represented in this album in some way, shape, or form.
Now, do you think he would make that the single?
That would be a very, very good move, because it would already have instant appeal to people.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers that riff.
Yeah. Well, the way I see it, Kendrick really needs to drop an album like that, because if you look at it, you go from Good Kid, Mad City, very old school hip hop themed. A lot of
storytelling.
His take, his take on
the storyline was very simplistic, but that was fine. It did its job. It set the precedent that Kendrick's albums are supposed to be listened to front to back.
And then skip forward a little bit, he dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, which was funk themed, and then Untitled Unmastered, which was also funk themed. Now I know people don't consider it an album and stuff, but they're both back to back funk albums. And then Damn, which was, I don't know how you could really explain Damn, because Damn was versatile. There's a lot of different things on Damn, because like you were saying, there's the type of hard hitting abrasive beats, but there's also his storytelling beats on what you call it, Duckworth. Funny enough, Duckworth at the end when he's talking about his dad and his I believe it was his manager,
Top
Dog. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like he would need to drop a rock album so he doesn't get stuck in repetitiveness. And I know with Kendrick Lamar, he can capably do that because of his style of writing, his style of music. He can pull off a rock album that will probably be best selling, but he needs to do it or else it's gonna look bad on his.
It'll be best selling on name alone.
Yeah.
It'll be best selling on name alone. It's just how the people are going to receive it and what the critical appeal of it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, people complain about pop music being crappy, but pop music is very transient. The best ones always stick around, though. Look at Rihanna. Look at Drake. Even like Katy Perry fell by the wayside, and she was going for 8 years strong.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah. I think the one thing though with that is like with pop music, if it's a good song, and you ever see those YouTube videos where it's like songs you forgot about, and you listen, you don't cringe as you would certain songs when it comes to how like if they were like a bad song pop song wise.
Yeah.
But like a good song pop song wise, you hear it and you go, oh man, I remember this song. I used to jam to this all the time. So it's like
you have good memories associated with it.
Yeah, you want that with his album. You want to be able to hear it and in your car, and everybody in the car singing along with you, going hard, just
I had a moment like that at work yesterday where I had swimming pools on, and me and my coworker, and she's like 21, but we both did the second verse of, okay, this is your caution to listen to me, Kendrick.
Yeah, exactly, stuff like that. And I know with Kendrick, every single album he's put out, there's at least one song like that.
Yep.
Like I can recite, swimming pools, something I can't remember the heart, but I believe it's number 4, the song number 4 on the heart. King Kunta,
I love that song.
Butterfly. Humble and stuff off of Damn. I can do Duckworth too because it's one of those songs where it's like once you hear it, it hooks you, and you want that album where you want that song that like keeps you every time you hear it, you always get interested in it.
That song for me is actually Feel.
Yeah. But see, everyone has their own songs, and you want to be able to like reach all those different audiences.
Yes, and Kendrick always finds a way to do that exceptionally well.
Yeah, I don't think people.
Personally, I think he'll be like the most important artist of the past 25 years.
You know, I was writing a script for a video. I was trying to fish out some ideas, and I put it on Facebook a few months ago. And it was pretty much, who do you consider to be the best or most influential artist of 2010s? And it came down, in my opinion, to Kanye West and Kendrick Lamar. And at the end of the day, I really think Kendrick Lamar takes that spot. Like, I'm a huge Kanye fan. He's my favorite, probably my favorite artist, up there with Kid Cudi. But that's Kendrick Lamar has done so much in 10 years that he'll be remembered for. Like, Kanye West, people remember him for, not just his music, but
talking crazy.
His lifestyle.
Yeah, his lifestyle, his personality, his attitude, his public appearance. Like everyone, if you say Kanye West to anyone over the age of probably 40, they'd be like, oh, he messed up Taylor Swift, whatever. Like he hurt her feelings. But people, you're like, name a Kanye West album, and you're like, I can't. Whereas Kendrick Lamar, even our dad is Kendrick Lamar.
20, 30 years that, what they're doing with, Biggie and R.I.P. and, and Dre, they're going to be doing with Kendrick Lamar and stuff, because he's just that, he's going to be that person that, a future generation, our kids, our grandkids are going to be like, oh, that music sucks, but we're going to be here that's good.
No, they're not.
Kendrick
is so good that it's not going to be that way at all.
Well,
he's an exception, sir.
I will say this. Yeah, I think you're wrong on that one, Andrew. I will say this, though. I think the reason why Kendrick Lamar has so much sustainability in the future, and people are going to, always remember Kendrick Lamar more than most rappers, is that he's working with the past, the present, and the future.
That is one of the things that gives him universal appeal. So I thought about this recently.
Yeah.
Why does history and who came before you in hip hop matter more than it does in other genres? Now, yes, in something like rock, you can hear distinct influences. I mean, rock is certainly fallen by the wayside, which makes me very upset. But there are a couple of good bands still out there. But you can hear when one group listened to a lot of Nirvana, or when one group listened to a lot of Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Where they didn't have to sing an ode to them, because rock has always been very experimental and adaptive. However, with hip hop, a good verse, you have to be able to bring in your knowledge from the current place and time to make your song feel relevant. That's kind of why some hip hop songs feel like they just fade away.
True.
But times change, but every single time generation takes control, they still throw nods back to the generation before them, because it's basically like orator, like in Castlevania, the speakers, they have oral recorded history. In hip hop, they can do that in a verse with make a pop culture reference, throw in a bar, borrowing from somebody else. I know Drake did a song recently where he borrowed the lines from Eminem's Superman.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
I have to look into that, yeah.
That's straight up, took 2 bars and just put it in there.
Well, the one thing I have with Kendrick is that back when Good Kid, Mad City came out, people compared him a lot to Dr. Dre. They said, he's this age is Dr. Dre, but he's not. He's not just Dr. Dre. He's Dr. Dre. He's Eddie Van Halen. He's Kurt Cobain. He's this. He's that. Because he's not. He did the good thing of not defining himself in one genre. Because I know you can listen to Good Kid, Mad City, get hyper, get hyped up, then go and listen to to Pimp a Butterfly and chill out, mellow out, just enjoy some funk bass lines and stuff, and just relax. And then with Humble, it's heavy, hard hitting, another hype type thing. And that's why I think Kendrick Lamar did good with is that he's not defining himself by like one single genre.
Yeah. What I wanted to say earlier is that talking about the past, present, future with Kendrick Lamar is that I guess you can say he channels the past easily because he brings out older faces. Dr. Dre was on Good Kid, Mad City.
Snoop Dogg on I can't remember that song, but he pulled off Snoop Dogg, George Clinton, and whatchamacallit, a couple other people on one song.
And then
he has respect from the people in the past, and that's important. That is credence of what I was saying earlier, that he's able to bring these people in, and he respects the past, and you can hear it in his music.
Yeah, and he even brings back Tupac back to life for that final interview at the end of Pimp a Butterfly.
It was genius.
Like you said, he pays respect to the past. He's in the present, but his music
and he paves the way for the future.
His music is about the present, but he's paving the way for the future. He's a full encompassing artist at this point.
It almost feels like every single time he drops an album, it's before this album came out and after this album came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I don't know if this is a term or not people use, but I would say he's a landmark artist. If that makes sense.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense.
Everything he does, it's you could put on a timeline, and it'll be, at this year this happened, therefore this happened, because of his staying power and of his influence. I mean, you can say that about not many artists can have that. Like Kanye West is one I'm really knowledgeable about Kanye West, and I could say, when 808s and Heartbreaks came out, I think it's 2009, no, 2007, I think. This happened because of that. Kendrick Lamar, same way. When this album came out, everything changed. Like the Fire Nation attacked, basically. Because that's how important his music is to listeners and to hip hop.
He does find a way to always keep it relevant, but he also knows when something major happens, and he knows that he's going to have to reflect it because he knows that he is kind of like a timestamp landmark artist.
Yeah.
So, I fully expect him on his next album to have something about the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
This is actually going to have a major impact on pop culture, I think. Because not only do we have things like South by Southwest shutting down, like the entire country of Italy is now quarantined, but think about how this event mentally is going to impact people like artists. You're going to see these types of things reflected in movies, in music, in physical media art. Scary time. But the artist always finds a way to make something great and still reflect it perfectly. Like Picasso was painting during World War II, I believe. And all of his stuff at the time was very dark, very drab, and almost a strain to look at. But that was also part of Picasso's genius. So I expect something from Kendrick to have a song that odes to this. Maybe something that feels very constrictive, or hey, it might be the single because it'll spread like disease.
You had to do that.
Okay. Here's a tangent that I want to discuss, though.
Hold on, before we do that,
Okay.
I do want to say, in addition to what Dan was just saying, is that if someone were to, make this statement or make a relevant song about, the coronavirus.
I'm not even saying an entire song.
Oh, whatever he does, I should say, whatever he does, it would be Kendrick Lamar because like I said, he's relevant, but what he says stays relevant, and people know him for the 2016 election. He talks about that a lot in Damn.
He does,
and that's something people.
On the song a lot.
And it's 2020. It's 4 years later, and people are still like, yeah, that's still relevant. And even though the election's come and gone, and the new election is coming up, we're still thinking about the old election from what he said.
Because he made a song of a landmark moment.
Exactly.
Before and after Orange Hitler.
I mean, Kendrick Lamar has always talked about what I'm trying to say here. He's always had relevant topics. Religion will always be relevant in the world forever. Politics always be relevant in the world.
Till today, you can listen to a Kendrick song where he talks about, the election, and it's still relevant till now, and it'll be relevant in the future when, history books are revised and we learn, and, kids learn that this is what happened at the time.
Yes, because it's a major moment, and that's a lot of the things that gives hip-hop, kind of the sense of cool is like Wu-Tang Clan, because they were rapping about kung fu movies and things like that, and rhyming Asian words with Staten Island slang.
True. This actually ties into what I was going to talk about. How do you think in the future we would have another outbreak like we do now with coronavirus? And do you think it would tie into what I'm trying to get at is on Juicy with Biggie, where he talks about time to get paid, blow up like the World Trade. When people think, 9/11, but no, it's actually when when I believe it was when the underground part was bombed by a car. Do you think that something like that could happen?
What do you mean?
People, you hear that song now, and it automatically you think of, if you've never heard it, you think he's talking about 9/11. But when you think about it, it's not that. If you look at it, it's not. It's about a different thing that did happen. Do you think if we were to have an outbreak like coronavirus in the future, that if he made a quote about coronavirus or a virus but didn't name it, do you think people would automatically think back to that?
Oh, yeah,
or would they think about the newer one?
Yeah, I mean, like the election. Like he said, if you did put Kendrick Lamar on a song or anything, and he says the word election or president or anything like that, what year would come to your mind?
2016.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
I mean, I would say 2008 could be number 2 contender.
That could be true.
Because, I mean, flashback
to Kanye on the donation thing. What he talked about with George W. Bush. Yeah. It's one of those things that...
I mean, back then...
Honestly, when I heard that... Oh, we were saying, sorry.
Oh, back then, people would name drop like that. Like, it's an interesting world we live in now where you can be subtle now. You can be subtle in your rhymes. You can be subtle in your you could be YG. You could be Kendrick Lamar. On subtlety. You can be.
But do you think though that at the end of the day, subtlety is only making hip hop more violent?
No.
Because you have these shades. Like, okay, let's look back. Rob Stone and XXXTentacion. He didn't name drop Rob Stone at all, but Rob Stone's people still jumped X at a concert, but he never name dropped Rob Stone.
Yeah, but name dropping a rapper is different than name dropping a political figure.
True. But you still got to think. If people aren't name dropping in hip hop, that if they were to name drop, then people would know, and people, nowadays with the internet, people can fix these things because people, are influential. Especially when it comes to, how people see different people. Like, if Kanye West and Kendrick were to get in the big argument, people online would be like, listen, you guys are both, in your own areas, geniuses. Why don't we fix this and heal?
You need to open up Twitter more.
I do.
I mean, to be fair on Andrew's point, Lil Pump and J. Cole had a similar situation, where Lil Pump was like, J. Cole's trash, whatever, or like he's old, and then they literally sat down on a video and talked, which you don't see often.
That was because of the internet.
Like, it's really different. I mean, I see your point, what you're trying to say, but I think it really just depends on the context at the end of the day. Like with Eminem and Trump, Eminem did the BT cipher, and then
name dropped him on what was it? His last
Revival
album that came out. Revival. Not his last one. The one before that.
What?
Yeah.
That was Revival. No, Revival was for Kamikaze.
Kamikaze.
On Revival.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, didn't he name drop on Kamikaze too?
Yeah, but
so he did it on both.
I don't know if you guys remember this or heard about this, but he Secret Service literally went to his house and was like, we've heard your songs, we've looked into your lyrics, is there a problem? Basically, they're like, is there a problem here?
That happened to Snoop Dogg. He did an interview where he talked about how back when he was at his highest peak with his music, when he was working with Dre and stuff, how he said something. I can't remember what politician, but he said something, and the CIA came to his house and discussed with him stuff about how you can't, say, threats. We take that seriously. I see what you mean by.
Yeah, and people are even using
it's more.
Like people are using lyrics now more than ever. Like TK, he's
true.
Literally being, what do you call it? He's being charged, and he's being charged on his words.
True.
Hold on a second.
That if you look at comedians, they'll say some things that are pretty illegal. I mean, I've seen comedians talk about, I was on a drive-by with people, I've done this and that, and they don't get in trouble. But, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. I think that was a good first run of the yet-to-be-named podcast.
Untitled Unfinished.
Maybe that might be it. Untitled Unfinished, that might be it. I'll have to think about that one. But thank you to Dan for coming on today. If you liked what he had to say, you can
follow me at Ziggy Starscream on Twitter or Instagram.
Comment below if you want to see Dan again, or you want to see my brother Andrew again. Andrew, how can they find you?
At @and_Brad with 2 D's on Insta.
Huh? What was it? You got cut out.
My bad. Saltine Lies on Twitter or @_Brad 2 D's on Instagram.
Yeah, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. This is just the first run, but if you want to hear more, we'll see what we can do. And thanks for listening, and have a nice day.
Adios.
Peace out.